How can I feel good? And we say, well, first, you have to want to, and boy, does she. And next, you have to know how to do it.
Yes.
And what's the answer to knowing how to do it? What's the answer to feeling good? I must vibrate in the same frequency as the source within me who does feel good. Is there any other way?
That's it.
Well, you could give me everything I want, Abraham. Everything I want would make me feel good. And we say, only because in the lazy man's way to feeling good, you're observing what feels good and therefore you do. But what if you can't control the conditions, which no one can? You're really in a bind, aren't you? You want to feel good more than life itself because it is life itself. Because if you don't feel good, you've deprived yourself of the majority of your life. So you want to feel good more than life itself. And if you believe you have to control the conditions in order to feel good, then you're done. Then you're sunk. But if you get it, that you have the ability to feel good because you know about the existence of your inner being, you know about the frequency of your inner being, you know about the validity of the emotions within you, and you know that you can find a thought that will cause a feeling to improve. Now, you are powerful. You are never powerless again. Now, you never have to feel bad again. You never have to feel bad again. Because in your powerful now, you have the ability to find vibrational harmony with the source within you, which is the only reason that anyone ever feels good or bad. It's all about that harmony. It's all about that alignment. Whether you are thinking about the past, or whether you're thinking about the present, or whether you're thinking about the future, you're doing it all right now. In this now, while I am considering my past, or while I am focused in my present, or while I in my human body am conjuring or imagining or speculating into the future, the factor that matters most is, what am I doing vibrationally in relationship to that larger I? In other words, what's the source within me thinking about my past while I'm thinking about my past? What's the source within me thinking about my now while I'm thinking about my now? In other words, whether it's past, present, or future is irrelevant, but whether it matches what source thinks is what's relevant. And that's the thing that almost nobody is considering. When you're thinking about your past and you're remembering being beaten up in the playground, or you're remembering not being honored by someone, or you're remembering feeling vulnerable, or even if you're remembering something that is more positive in nature, the question is, in the memory of it, is this memory of whatever it is I'm focused upon activating a vibration within me that in my powerful now gives me access to the power of now? Because source is always focused now. That's what we were trying to say to you when we say source is coming forward into your now. You see, here we are, we're broadcasting all around the world, and some people, they're up in the middle of the night watching this broadcast, and it's in the middle of the night some places, and yet it's all right now, isn't it? Yes. And we say, it doesn't matter what time zone you're in, it's all happening now. And source is rendezvousing with you in your now. That's the only thing that you need to consider in order to be in your full power.
Yes.
When people talk about time, when they talk about time, space, reality, we love your time, space, reality because it causes you to focus. But it causes you to focus now. It causes you to have an opportunity to have a relationship with source who's focused now. And we promise you, the source within you is not focused in your past. You were source energy before you came into this physical body. A part of your consciousness came forth into this personality that you know as you. As you are exploring the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses, and I know what I don't want and I know what I do want, you're launching these preferences, these rockets of desire, and source becomes immediate vibrationally involved in that. The source within you becomes the vibrational equivalent of every request, and that's the now that you are reaching for. Oh, we've not said that before. So let's say it again. It is your vortex now that the source within you is pulsing. And if you are pulsing anywhere short of that, then you're not in alignment with who you are. So, for example, let's say that in your 20s, something happened and you felt true disempowerment. Well, you launched a rocket of desire. You wanted to know your power. You wanted to feel your clarity. You wanted to be the equivalent of everything that you were reaching for. The non-physical part of you became all of that immediately and holds that vibrational standard. And that vibrational standard is available to you now. And when you care about how you feel so that you come into alignment with that happy feeling, Now you are in your now, vibrationally being all that you have become. And anything less than that is what negative emotion feels like. In other words, what you wanted to be was fully present in your now. And you can only do what you can do. In other words, if you're not tapped in, tuned in, turned on to the source within you, so what? You are where you are, and where you are is the beginning of the journey. So let's say you're in the middle of contrast. You're in the middle of something really not wanted, and you're launching these rockets. Well, these rockets mean that the source within you has become this weller being, or this more prosperous being, or this more clear-minded being. And if you don't forget, if you always remember that now that non-physical part of you has become it and is expressing it to you here, and in this moment you're doing your best to feel as you can feel right here and now, then isn't all of that going to come full circle into your now? And isn't your empowerment going to return? Or isn't your prosperity going to return? Doesn't it have to be once you get that into proper place? So, really, there's only now. In the now, you can be thinking about the past, you can be thinking about the present, you can be speculating or thinking about the future, but you're doing it all right now. And the big question is, while I'm doing any of those things now, what's my inner being doing about the thing that I'm doing right here and now? So as I'm thinking about my past and remembering getting beat up on the playground and resenting that rotten kid who beat me up that year and the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year, and I've hated him ever since. Ooh, I have so much resentment about all of that. As I'm thinking about that now, the only question worth asking is, what's my inner being thinking about that right now? Because remember, your inner being is focused where you're focused. The question is my inner being in agreement with the way I am focusing? And when I'm full of resentment, what does that tell you? What's the clue? My inner being is not in agreement with my assessment of what happened. Well, is my inner being stupid? I remember it clearly. I was there. Why is my inner being trying to make sunshine out of something that was so rotten? And we say, because your inner being knew that in that contrast you were launching rockets, and your inner being immediately became the vibrational equivalent. Your inner being took the bounce. Your inner being received the gift. Your inner being received the expansion. Your inner being lived what you intended to live through the process, and your inner being remembers it all. All right, so that's what making peace with something is. It's that even though it was something unwanted, there was value that came from it, which I have the ability to focus upon right now. So if I want to be in alignment with the source within me, and I'm going to insist on thinking about the past, then I have to find a way of thinking about the past that matches the way my inner being thinks about the past. And my inner being revels in every piece of life experience that I have lived, because it contributed to this vortex version that my inner being is now living fully. Are you with us so far? So now let's take another run at it. So everything that I lived in my past, or even in my present, is causing an expansion of me for which the source within me is joyful. So if I just keep remembering that when I'm focused upon past, present, or future, that what I'm really wanting to pay attention to is whether I'm in alignment with my source, who is focused upon past, present, and future, but focused upon it in a way that's helpful. If I care about how I feel, then I am able to come into full alignment with who I am. And that is what utilizing the power of now is. In other words, you're not really utilizing the power of now if you've got yourself pinched off from the larger part of you who is utilizing the power of right now. You get what we're talking about? You are source energy who loves. In a moment that you're not loving, whether you're not loving about something that happened in the past, or whether you're not loving about something that happened just now, or whether you're not loving about something that you're worried about, if you're not loving, then you are not allowing yourself to live as you have intended to live. And it's that deprivation that equals negative emotion every single time. So why do we call it the past? Well, because it was before now. And why do we call it the future? Well, because it's after now. But isn't it a continuum? And is there really anything other than now? Do you agree with that? Is there anything other than now? So if there isn't anything other than now, then what could we speculate? A very intelligent person is asking a very important question about past, present, and future, which we've totally disregarded because it's utterly irrelevant. Because we're doing it all now. 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 So past, present, and future is irrelevant. We're doing it all now. We're doing it all now. We're doing it all now. So past, present, and future is irrelevant. We're doing it all now. 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 There it went again. We're doing it again. We're doing it now. Now. Are you convinced yet? We can keep going if you haven't gotten this yet. We're doing it now. We're doing it now. So past, present, or future is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You agree? It's irrelevant. Say it. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's all now. So what is relevant? What is the only thing that is relevant in this all-powerful now? What's the only thing that's relevant?
Now.
Am I in alignment with my source? Am I reveling? Am I resonating? Am I vibrating up to speed with who my source is? That's the only thing that is relevant. And how do you know the answer to that? By the way you feel. Do you have control over the way you feel? Then do you have control over being in alignment with source? Then haven't we just solved all the mysteries of the universe? Doesn't that just answer everything? And so I must be in full alignment with who I am, because anything less than that is just always going to feel off, you see. Do you accept, as we draw this circle, this invisible circle, and we talk to you about the vortex, do you accept that there is, in fact, a vibrational version of everything that you've been asking for that has amassed vibrationally? Do you accept that? It's an important key to this, and we know it's hard to accept because you can't see it. You can see what's manifested in terms of a relationship. You can see what's manifested in terms of your finances or your physical apparatus. You can see evidence of what's manifested. But this vortex that we're talking about, since it's a vibrational version, you can't yet see it. You can't yet hear it. It's not tactile yet. It hasn't come into full view for you. So for most of you, it must be annoying. It's a concept as we wave our arm and point at this place and tell you it's a vortex and tell you that the larger part of you and everything that you want is in it. We want you to conceptually get it, but what is the first way that you're going to actually know the reality of this vortex? How can you know that it's true? What's the first evidence that you're going to get about the existence of this vortex? It's a feeling, isn't it? It's an emotion, because your emotion is your indicator of your vibrational alignment. So when you come into alignment with your vortex and you feel secure, even when you don't have evidence, when you feel self-appreciation, even when others aren't crowing about what a wonderful mother you are yet or whatever, when you feel it, that's a manifestation. And that's what we've been trying to call your attention to all morning here today. We want you to accept that that manifestation, which is a manifestation of an emotion, that once you find that, now you're in the vortex. And once you find it and know that you've found it and find it again and again and care about finding it, and it becomes the thing that you care most about finding, now you're hanging around in the vortex more and more and more, and now the other manifestations that you so much want have to reveal themselves to you and will reveal themselves to you, because you're not doing that thing that's keeping you vibrationally out of the vortex. Does that follow? The primary thing that keeps most people from being willing to just give in and go with the flow of emotion, because you're such realists and you care about what other people are saying. You care about how other people are approaching you, you see. You care about what their opinion of you is. And we care only about you harmonizing with the opinion of the source within you, who knows you are magic, who knows you are worthy, who knows that you can be or do or have anything, who knows that you can establish a point of attraction and everything else will fill in. In other words, it will look like magic to those who are watching you when you find alignment with the fullness of who you are and practice the vibration of it frequently enough that you know the power of your being. Everything that you've ever wished or dreamed or hoped for must become a manifested, specifically manifested reality enough that everyone who's looking at you from whatever vantage point they are will have to admit that you've got some sort of magic going on, because you'll be living entirely differently than almost everybody else. Because this is really the defining question. If you can accept that playfulness, that lightheartedness, that emotional manifestation that we were guiding you toward is what this is all about, then you've got it. Then you have found the missing piece. And once you show yourself that you can be consistently playful, and it's not easy. We know you've been dealing with a lot of stuff. We know that we're making lighter of a situation than you really want to make light of. But we promise you that if you can discover, and you can, on a regular basis, this playful spirit that is really within you. And you see, when you're lying in your bed at night, a few nights from now, maybe even tonight, you're going to be lying there and you're going to realize how good you feel for no apparent reason. You're just going to be feeling lighthearted. And once you turn that